How is it going, everybody? I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another video here on our channel. I'm the FIFA Analyst, and today we are bringing you the 4-4-2 second variation, custom tactics and walkthrough. We're going to show you some in-game scenarios as well, so you guys can really understand why this formation is one of the stronger ones out there at the minute on FIFA 21, and how you can go ahead and bring it into your game. As always, a quick one. If you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you do pick up any of your sneak, use code FIFA Analyst at checkout to go ahead and support us. Right then, the 4-4-2 second variation. Why is it such a solid formation at the minute? Well, having the two DMs that are a little bit deeper makes it a little bit easier to defend. The centre defensive mids this year are very stupid. They don't trap back by themselves. So just having them sat that little bit deeper, that little bit lower, just gives you a little bit more chance to go ahead and obviously, not get caught on the counter. So it's very good in that sense. I feel a lot of people struggle with the 4-4-2 because they don't understand how it's meant to be played, which is what we're going to teach you today. But obviously, it is a very strong formation just for anyone that's looking to ignite their attack, really, because two strikers always makes things a lot easier. Now, our tactics and instructions that we have here aren't anything too out of the ordinary, really. A lot of you guys may be running something similar, but we're going to go ahead and show you. Now, obviously, remember that tactics are all about personal preference. Try these. If you don't like them, try and work out why you don't like them and tune them to suit your playstyle. Tactics are very much about your playstyle. Okay, so defensive style, we go ahead with balance. Now, the reason why I go with balance on this is purely because this will be the tactic that I would start the formation with, start the game with. I would have another variant of this with press on possession loss. So I have two variants, and you change a few things accordingly. But because I'm starting the game with this, I don't actually want to go out the blocks and be too aggressive. So I just go with balance here and leave the pressing manually to me. That's kind of how we want to do it. The width, you guys know I always run a very neutral width at 5 or 4, really, in defensive style. Nothing too much. If you have it too narrow, your defense is too compact in the middle, leaving loads of room on the wing. And if you have it too wide, you've got gaping holes in the middle as well, like West Brom's defense, which you don't really want to do you? Depth. Now, obviously, you guys have all seen that the auto offside trap at 7 depth and above, a lot of people are playing it, a lot of people are using it. I personally haven't been a massive fan of it, purely because sometimes I find that, most people step up in the defense, but you have that one defender who's like, oh, sorry guys, didn't realize we were meant to be stepping up, and can get a little bit cool. I have been trying it though in the 4-4-2, and it seems to work a little bit for me, because also what I find it does is it reduces the gap between my DMs and my centre backs, which makes things, quite handy, really. It gives the opponents less room to maneuver in, especially if you're coming up against a 4-3-1-2, a 4-2-3-1, anything with that cam. It makes it really difficult for that cam to find the ball, get some space, kind of go from there. Now, offensive style, I've ran a lot of long ball this year. I think long ball is one of the easiest ways for you to get in behind, especially in a two-striker formation. So it is something that you can kind of go ahead and implement and have a lot of success with. You could also look at fast build-up if you wanted to give yourself the transition, get the defense, get the midfield up the pitch and into the attack, and that can work really well for you as well. But long ball is what we go for us, and we go for 6 width and 6 players in box. The beautiful thing about the 4-4-2 is it can be very good in the centre mid, it can be very good out on the wings as well. It's got a lot of variety to it, very good in that sense. And then for corners, 2 and 2 on there. Now, for the instructions, what do we have? I always have one striker on getting behind and the other one on balanced. The only reason why I don't have 2 strikers on getting behind is purely that if you have both of them on getting behind, sometimes when you're like on the edge of the 18 or, inside the 18, they both go and run towards the goalkeeper and run away from you. And you're like, I need the ball to feet. Come and show to feet. Yeah, you can tap the RB button to bring them short, R1 on PlayStation. But sometimes that's a little bit fiddly. It doesn't always work the way you want to. So just having one of them on balance just gives you the best of both worlds, really. You still have, the one striker, the quicker striker, ready to counter-attack and get in behind. So make sure you have that. Now, for the right mid and left mid, we want to come back on defense and get in behind. Embrace your inner rat, as the community seems to think. Purely because it makes it very solid defensively. It makes it very difficult for the opponents to break down. The 4-4-2 second variation can actually be one of the stronger formations in the game. And purely because people at the minute are playing 4-3-1-2, right? It's very strong. It offers a lot. So having the right mid and left mid on come back on defense just helps that right back and left back. The right back and left back can tuck in to deal with that extra man in the middle, while your right mid and left mid maybe keeping an eye on the fullback. So that's why we have it like that, and works really well. Now, for our DMs, what do you want? If I can get to them, You want one of them on passing lane, stay back while attacking, cover centre. This is your centre defensive mid, you know, your Kantes, your Vieiras, your Laurent Blancs, whoever it may be. And then the other one on completely balanced and cover centre. You don't want these guys separating out from the wing, especially against the 4-3-1-2. If you get one man pulled out to the wing, you're going to have one man in the middle against 4 or 5 attackers. It's not going to go down too well, so make sure you leave it on there. Now, for the fullbacks, in this particular formation, I'd have them on stay back while attacking and overlap. If I had my second variation, you know, my more attacking 4-4-2, where I have press on possession loss, like I previously mentioned earlier, I would move this to balance to give them that options there as well. So that's how I run my custom tactics and instructions on the 4-4-2. The key part about it now is how do we play it in game? How do we use it? So we're going to go through and we're going to go and have a look and show you guys how to use it in the game. So then now we're going to go ahead and jump into some gameplay highlights for you. Talk to you about how you can use the 4-4-2 second variation, implement it into your game. Now, the attack is actually one of the things that I think a lot of people get wrong in the 4-4-2 because they try and play it quite straightforward. They try and go through the middle, centre mid to striker, centre mid to striker, striker to striker, and so on. The left mid and right mid are probably one of the most important people in this formation. You have to use them very well. And if you use it like a zigzag and you go from left mid to centre mid to centre mid to right mid to striker to left mid and so on, you'll find that your left mid and right mid are actually getting quite a lot of goals in the 4-4-2. They do really like to get involved. And you'll know when you're playing the formation well, when you start to notice that they are getting assists, getting goals on the score sheet. When I used to play the 4-2-3-1 quite regularly, and a lot of you guys, you'll notice that the right attacking mid, left attacking mid don't seem to actually get involved that much. It's quite difficult to get them there. Like, as you can see here, coming across, look how we worked it from the right-hand side of the pitch over to the left-hand side, and Dembele slots that one into the back of the net. That is what I'm talking about. That is kind of the perfect 4-4-2 attacking kind of as and how you want it in your game. So keep that in mind when you are playing, and you will have a lot of success with this formation. Using obviously a good skill move with Dembele, getting ourselves into the box. Obviously, this was a team that we used last weekend. That was pretty much an all-standard goal team, bar the Vasquez and the Benzema. But a little double tap pass in there. Benzema finding the back of the net. The double tap passes into the box, by the way, I've been having a lot of success with recently. Just a double tap A, double tap X on PlayStation. Lifts it up to knee height, makes it very difficult for the opponent to kind of intercept that and say, and get a foot in. So Rashford coming into the box now. Again, you can see how we're using it from going from the right striker to left striker. Now look here, taking a look at exactly what we've got. Remember, we have the Pogba, the one more attacking centre mid. He's going to make that run in. Our right mid, who's on the getting behind as well, will make that instruction to kind of go run in and attack the box. So they're going to go through and attack this space into there. So we can just work it over. A lovely, lovely works chance. And again, the Vasquez coming up clutch with a massive, massive goal. Lovely, lovely well work from him. So you can kind of see how we're using the 4-4-2 in the attack and how we want it, brought into our game. And by the way, that Benzema card, I was really, really surprised with. He actually did much better than I expected him to. So that was good to see him getting on the score sheet as well. Kante laying it into Benzema, looking for the 1-2s between the striker, baiting the centre-backs out. Poor defending from the opponent, but we managed to get through. That is something that you guys can do as well, using the strikers very easily, triggering the runs with the LB and the L1 on PlayStation, just LBA, LBX, looking for the 1-2s between the strikers. It's basic stuff, but you'll be surprised how many people get the basic stuff wrong in defence. So do take that into account when you are playing that as well. Rashford coming through, gold Rashford, still doing absolute bits for us. With a scoop turn, one of my favourite skill moves. It just works so, so well. And getting through and managing to slot that one into the back of the net, and Vasquez driving in and getting the penalty. That Vasquez, one of the most versatile players that I've used this year, seems to be able to do absolutely everything for us, which was good to see. And then when it comes to penalties, the key thing that I always do, come over to the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/FIFA Analyst, ask the chat, where do we go? I always ask the chat. Wait for the first person to respond in the chat and then go wherever they say. Unfortunately enough, we green time it, pop it into the bottom left of the corner. Benzema getting the goal there for us. Again, look at how we're using the wingers, going in the middle, out to the wing, whipping that one in. An RBX R1 square on PlayStation. A lovely, lovely cross. Really good to see. The 1-2s linking up again, trying to take the man on, trying to see if we can find it. Look who's there. Pogba is indeed there, and that is a lovely, lovely finish. Again, your more attacking-minded centre mid will get some goals, so do take that into account for you as well. Moving on to our defensive scenarios now. Now the 4-4-2, as I said, is a little bit done on the counter, but given our tactics and instructions and the way we've got it lined up, we just need to, same as the 4-3-1-2, buy time, really. Wait for those 2 DMs to get back, track the 2 DMs, using obviously the switching here to make sure that we're covering this through ball in behind. We don't want him to be able to go for that. We don't need to be able to run in behind. So we're manually defending, just covering that, stopping that from an option, and then switching back into the Furlan, Mendy, and saying absolutely no chance. And a step in there with Longley, nice and easy. When you get comfortable playing with a 4-4-2, you will get used to right stick switching. It is a little bit different if you've played like the 4-2-3-1, for example. You can find that some of the switches can be a little bit off, but the DMs to the centre backs are one of the most easiest switches. And because most people are directly, parallel to each other, it does actually make it quite an easy formation to do the player switching in. While it's in different formations, the 3-5-2, the 4-3-1-2 can be quite clustered and quite difficult to find your men that you do want. So take that into account, stick a bit of time with it, and you will get used to the right stick switching in the 4-4-2 as well. You can just see the calmness that we're trying to, emulate in the 4-4-2 when it comes to our defending, making sure if we get caught on the counter, we're dragging our centre mids back. We're not allowing him that easy pass into his striker, into his camps, if we can avoid it, and then just trying to manually defend as and when and step in accordingly, because that's how I like to defend, and obviously comes down to yours guys as well. So I hope that's given you a bit of an understanding of how the 4-4-2 works, how you guys can use it, how you can implement it into your game as well. One of the most strong formations at the minute, especially the second variation. Very easy to look for the Y balls in behind, look for the 1-2s, and yeah, just very, very strong as a whole. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll catch all you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.